Testicles. Testicles 1, 2. We are in the meantime with me and Dave. Make sure I can't. We're in the meantime with me and Dave, episode 9. Ben Switzer, part 1. Drunk Ben Switzer.
Hi.
Freshly from him falling on me right here on a table.
Oh, that literally
it's
happened.
out of just
30 seconds ago?
Not even second. It was about a few minutes ago. But I mean, he just collapsed on me and luckily did not break the computer. So that was luck.
I only broke maybe parts of myself.
Yeah, and his glasses. Right, he'll find out in the morning.
Yeah. Oh God, it will all be a giant surprise to me.
This is a 2-part episode where we are going to see. We are fresh from a Wednesday at the Mediterranean in Aptos. I'm currently
best room in Santa Cruz.
That's. I mean, I'm not.
If you don't count any
it's
other
not
room
in Santa
Cruz.
It's not in Santa Cruz. That's the thing. It's in Aptos.
That's why it's the best room in Santa Cruz.
Okay. Ben here, Switzer. He is a comedian, aspiring comedian. Let's be honest. Host of a very popular room, voted the second best comedy room by the Santa Cruz paper Good Times, which we'll show here in a second. It's called the Red Room. It's out here in Santa Cruz. They have a comedy show here every Tuesday. It's free, as with most aspiring comedian shows. It's at 8 o'clock, and it has a lot of comedians from the local Santa Cruz area and a lot of people from out of town in the Bay Area and elsewhere. They come through because it's actually it's only, how long has it been around now?
It will be a year on August 13th where I will not actually be there for it.
Because Ben Switzer, we'll get to it, he's going to be doing what a lot of aspiring comedians do, but he's doing it sooner than most do. He will be moving to New York, which, for, I assume, making a decision. This is for comedy, or were you just wanting to move to New York?
You know, it's actually a toss-up. I mean, like, I graduated school here. I went here to UCSC, and I graduated from college here about a year and a half ago, and I'm dangerously approaching like Matthew McConaughey levels of Dazed and Confused here. Like, I need to get the fuck out of this town. And then doing comedy is a bonus. And then it was when I was moving out of town, it was just, I picked places that were like, okay, I could move and do what I'm gonna do now with, you know, I have a literature degree, so like the best amount of tables I could wait. That's kind of what I was looking at. And then also, hey, more rooms. So New York.
So we'll get to all this. First off, let's just point out, Ben has been drinking all night. Handles his drunkenness pretty good, except for when he fell on me just now.
Oh, okay. That was more gravity's fault than mine.
That was not gravity's fault. That was you. But before we go any further, we have pretty much what I do every guest. 200 words or less. Give us your life story. Go.
Raised by rich suburbanites. Grew up in Fresno. Period.
Well, that's not the end, because he's here in Santa Cruz now.
Oh, yeah, no, this was not what my parents had thought for me at all.
Yeah.
No.
You can look at the audience. Really. I'm not going to be looking at you too much.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't want to look there because it looks so pale.
That's the lighting.
I know it's the lighting, but literally, lighting. I don't need something to remind me.
Good, whatever macho.
Oh, my God,
titties.
Yeah, this is actually getting shown up here.
Yeah,
this is... This should be the end screen of Contra. If you beat all of Contra...
Save the jokes. The open mic is over. We just came from the Mediterranean open mic where I hosted and got paid more tonight from the tips from one of the rooms where people in the Santa Cruz area, they deem that room to be, kind of...
They actively go there to not like comedy.
They think it's one of these, whatever. It is one of my favorite places because these people have been harassed constantly by a lot of just a lot of narcissism and judgmental behavior. I've actually performed in Aptos before at Seabreeze Tavern. That was an old show run by Joe Hughes who lives in Capitola,
And I would assume that went over like gangbusters.
Well, look, he had his mixed reviews. Here's the thing: Aptos is a hard sell.
Yeah, it's Aptos. Everything in Aptos is a hard sell.
See that attitude right there?
They are literally 25 seconds away from the beach, and it is a hard fucking sell.
I come in there, and the fact is I just rip these people as much of an asshole. The comedians, not the audience. The audience is fine. I rip these comedians a new asshole in all their intros, and they love it. All right, but not a new asshole. I don't rip them a new. I do nice intros too, but this audience. They just appreciate the fact that I have fun presenting all of the same players that they see week after week after week, and I put out a tip thing, which mostly goes to me
which is basically anyone in the audience is saying like, hey, yeah, everyone we've ever seen here, whose jokes we all know the punchlines to.
They don't.
Here's a punchline, so
they don't know them because a lot of times
homeless-looking person can get home.
Nobody remembers a punchline when the joke didn't make them laugh.
You were literally sleeping on this couch right now.
will.
That's how much you did in tips tonight.
Hey man, I'm saying I did better. I got paid more from their tips than I did all weekend doing better shows. But I'm saying not better because it was better. Tonight was actually a damn fine night of an open mic. We had Dave. He was also drinking a lot.
I know, but no.
When
was the first time you've ever been hit up with someone who's like, there was a tip jar, you got tipped, and they gave you money, and you did not need that money to get home, but you took it?
I do that every time.
I know. When was the first time, though?
I don't remember.
You know there was a first time.
There probably was. I just don't remember it. Because, here's the thing. Well, maybe I do. I'm trying to remember my first year.
You know there was a first time someone gave you money for a show that you felt like you should have got money for, but they just gave you that money.
That I should have got money for? Or I shouldn't have got money for?
We all think we should have got money for every show we've ever done.
Not true. And but I'll take it.
Okay, for like 80% of them,
fact
because
is, it was
we're
an open
delusional.
mic. No, you're delusional. I'm not. I'm the one who's not moving to New York. Remember this. Point being,
I'm moving to New York to do shitty shows. I'm moving to New York to do shows worse than I'm doing now.
Had a great time hosting this mic at a place that appreciates me, and presenting all of their people there. And he also hosts it there from time to time himself.
Oh yeah, I'm actually. I think with the exception of next week, because I'm hosting the Tannery. I'm hosting every other week at the Med until I leave. George Kane has given up on that show.
He hasn't given up on it. He just doesn't really want to host the thing. Depending on also George Kane, comedian, also local to the Santa Cruz area.
He doesn't want to host the show, and he does not want time on the show.
Yeah,
that gives you a feeling of where his attitude is out of the show.
He wants it to still happen. He wants it to be jovial and oh wow, you got a cat. You got a cat here. We always have a lot of guest appearances by animals.
We have the most psychotic cat now.
Oh, you're psychotic. What's up, kitty? I'll try to get this cat on camera.
She will get on there soon, but only to go for your jugular.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah. Hey, kitty, you want to come?
Don't do that, Dark.
Oh, that's fine. Anyway, so...
oh my God! I'm surprised you have a hand still.
No, that's fine. I'm used to cats. In psycho cats, we got plenty of cats like that at home.
I've seen a lot of the women you talk to at shows. Yeah,
see, open mic. He's still open mic. That's why
it will never end. It will never end.
Oh, it'll end. It'll end as soon as I hit stop on this recorder. Again, this is drunk Ben Switzer.
No, it will keep going after
drunk
I hit stop.
Ben Switzer is a little bit different from sober Ben Switzer. But my point being, tonight, Santa Cruz scene is all aflutter. As you can tell, he's excited because of this right here. Well, there's two versions of this. This right here, Santa Cruz is so patting itself on the back on its local rag, The Good Times magazine.
Mr. Brendan Lynch.
Hey,
on
don't
the
say
cover.
his name. He's called The Artist.
Mr. The Artist on the cover.
This is their local rag, Good Times, and featured in this issue, the comedy scene, the local comedy scene, of which two comedians who have done comedy less than 3 years, both.
Find the article.
I'm finding the picture of it.
Yeah,
right
find the
here,
picture.
Because really, this was like. These are basically people who have been vetted by a certain person who I'm not going to name because he's just so paranoid about everything.
And because he wrote the article.
Shut up.
God, DNA is gonna scour your fucking video.
You never know, he might. But here, this is Chad Opitz and Michael Montgomery. in a very one of the types of Michael Montgomery's expression doesn't bother me as much as Chad's does.
I actually
hate
like
comedy
Michael
photos like
Montgomery's shirt more
It
than I like
says
anything
it
he
says
actually
because of
says.
the hairs on his face.
And I
Whatever
would
that
like to
means.
believe that's actually a statement on Chad Opitz
We
and
also
not.
we also used an issue of this to write the list on for tonight at the Med. Want to give a good shot of that, just to know.
So yeah, Brendan
So-
Lynch.
so-
we cared that little about your headshot.
The artist. That's nobody. That's nobody you care about. But anyways, just stating that's what they're all abuzz. These guys are so fucking overwhelmed with joy. Also, this is the week Doug Stanhope performed in Felton, so a lot of these guys are just really high on comedy all week. But so I came to the Med tonight because I'm staying the night over at Ben's. Thank you, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
And you needed something to temper the whole Doug Stanhope being here. And
I don't really care about Stanhope. I just could tell everybody's
you
just
need
they
to
won't.
Bring all the comedians down, like 3 pegs.
I just like to bring, yeah. Well, no, I like to bring comedians down in general. No, I'm a failed musician before I am a comedian. The fact being that Doug Stanhope, again, he's performing all these plays, and everybody's got him on a pedestal right now. I've heard so many people talking this, that, and the other. He performed at the Stork Club in Oakland, which was a horrible choice to pack 250 people in.
Yeah, apparently that was worse than the Don Quixote show.
I heard the Don Quixote show was actually really good. That was in
yeah,
Felton.
I was there. I was there for it.
A lot of people were saying
good.
it was comfortable, and
I literally.
he's going to be at Sally Tomatoes, which is a place that I've headlined twice.
Oh, nice,
So, yeah,
nice to get that plug in. Yeah, I was just saying, I literally me and my roommate here that lives like further beyond this, if you can believe that there's more wreckage beyond this apartment right now. We tried to get kicked out of the show.
Why?
Because we
That's
knew
the logic of these drunk people, I swear. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, we knew there was only 5 minutes in there, and he was going to prepare stuff, and it was like, this is the end of it. Like, we knew this was the end of it. And so we went to go get cat, and he had done this opening thing about, like, he tried to smoke at this one section of the place. There was, like, if you went to go see the show, there's a long hallway down, and he was like, why can't I go smoke a cigarette there? No one's there. And they're like, you have to be 30 feet away. So for some reason, it struck me and my other roommate Sid as the funniest thing ever to go try and get kicked out for smoking there. We smoked it. We were about 15 seconds into our cigarette before a security guard was like, "Hey, you can't go out there," and we thought we were getting kicked out. And then we literally just walked back around to the front, and they're like, "No, you can come back in."
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, it was the most disappointing. Like, we were trying to get kicked out of a show.
We weren't trying hard enough.
Yeah, we wanted the memory of being thrown out of the Stanhope show.
That's drunken logic. That's drunken logic right there. All you had to do was fall. All you had to do was really fall like you did earlier right there, and it would have been fine.
I did that twice. I fell, I think, into his retarded girlfriend. Nothing happened of it.
Doug's Stanhope's retarded girlfriend?
Bing bang, bong bing, bing, bang, bang, bang.
Ben Switzer, everybody. That's drunk Ben Switzer. So, again, Ben has really he's alcohol withstanding. Ben is actually probably one of the coolest people who has joined this Santa Cruz comedy boom that's happened in the last year, 2 years. A lot of new comedians have come out here. They're all listed in this issue of Good Times, and
they literally, it's everyone that's listed, and then as Travis,
there's like 15. There's 15
as Travis Finley pointed out, he is listed as and others. It's every comic, and then
Travis is from L.A. technically.
Others.
I mean, I'm not mentioning it. I perform out here practically enough, but they have to be Santa Cruz residents. You are mentioning
there, aren't you?
No, I'm not. No, not anymore. Oh. And I'm glad, because here's the thing. Most of the time, and this is something I don't want to express, I don't want to be too mean, but the fact being that normally, if you're mentioned in a local magazine, it's almost the kiss of death. In terms of, especially if you get a spotlight, I think that's why, because from what I understand, the artist isn't happy with being in this thing, but I'm saying.
Oh, really? He's not happy?
He's never happy, but.
In the lowest rent.
But I think part of the deal is that, because I remember this band, Bud Court, my good friend from growing, he wasn't my good friend, but he was somebody I knew. I'm a better friend with him now because we just communicate online. But somebody I knew from growing up, he had a band called Bud Court from my local area of Newark, California. and they got in the local paper. They won the Battle of the Bands, and they got front page on our local paper and all that. And guess where Bud Court is today? It was gone. It was gone a year later, 2 years later, maybe.
Yeah, no, like one of my best friends. I grew up in Fresno, California.
It sounds like it is what it sounds like.
Yeah, basically.
Not Fresno.
Santa Cruz
Fresno.
with no hills and
I call it Fresno.
90% more
That's what I call
gangs.
Fresno. Yeah.
But they had this big thing. They were opening up for I think
Papa Roach. Did I guess right?
Oh my god! I think
probably
you
did.
actually guessed.
Yeah, Papa Roach.
It was either Papa Roach or the Goo Goo Dolls. I cannot remember. But it was just. But that was their big. And like, yeah, they have become like they're the. I think they're Rogues in Fresno.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be called something else until they got sued because they had a name that was. No, they were called Session, and like that. There was another.
Session.
I don't even. The only reason they were called Session was because the bassist at one point had made this deal with the lead singer, and we're like, we're gonna be in a band called Session, and he got a tattoo.
Oh, damn.
And no one else got that tattoo.
Nice. Good sign of a band solidarity right there.
So they're like, oh, we're going to be a band now. What are we going to call it? Well, we did make this guy get a fucking tattoo on his arm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, then they got sued by another band.
Good.
From Australia.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
And now they're Rogues, which I'm pretty sure is another band name they're going to get sued for.
So...
But hit them up if you want to hear bland generic music.
No, that's
that
beside
would
the point.
Follow up a Goo Goo Dolls concert.
That kind of press, it generally is. I'll just say, whenever you're voted the comedians to watch or anything to watch, guess what? No one's gonna be watching you in probably another good anywhere from 1 year to 5 years, 10 years, definitely.
That was your moment right
these
there
things,
when you got on
a lot of
list.
these things, being any type of hype. When you are at such an early stage of, if you're looking to develop, is not, but whatever. But I am happy for everybody in this thing, by the way. Most people, I'm not happy for too many people. I am happy for all of them because really, they like it. Yeah. And not only that, they a lot of these things, one of the things that it will give Santa Cruz is it is has... even with all their little squabbles and some of the shortcomings that go with this, that, and the other, it is one of probably my favorite scenes to come into and get to do. Like again, hosting the Med tonight, Blue Lagoon, which is a show
an amazing. It's an amazing.
Amazing is not a word I would use.
I would say
it's a generous scene. And a fun scene.
No, I would go back to putting that as amazing.
Because you say amazing about a lot of things.
I know, but
This is Drunk Ben Switzer, by the way.
This is Drunk Ben Switzer, but no, I'm saying I started off a year ago. July 1st was the first show I did. July 1st.
So you're coming up on your first year. So I'm coming up
on my first year.
Gotcha.
And I have had nothing but I know I'm gonna get killed in New York. I'm gonna get squashed there. I don't care. This has been nothing but a supportive environment in the community. Like, everyone has been behind me.
That's why he's this drunk. So I'm trying to encourage him to not drink when he goes to New York to make those first impressions in his comedy act. Because when he's got some of his brothers.
I'm pretty sure those first impressions that I need to not make are most of the jokes I've written already.
Don't worry about your jokes you've written. I'm talking about the ones that you're going to write once you get to New York. But I'm saying that to go and because one of the things I've had this conversation with a few other people on these podcasts. Alcohol and comedy, strange bedfellows. It's good when they say drink up. It makes the comedy better. That's a tip for the audience, not for the comedians. Yeah. And on the job training, if you're looking to make this actually your job or of any kind of desire to make this a long-term thing, alcohol is not really always the best course of learning.
How long do we want this podcast to go?
Oh, it's going to be usually an hour, so I'm going to do Drunk Ben Switzer until probably the half-hour point.
But no,
sober Ben Switzer.
I know, but I mean, like, do we want to get in? I can start talking about, like, why it is I drink.
Yeah, please do. Why do you drink, Ben?
Okay, no, I mean, when it comes to on stage, like, when I first started, the first 3 months I was doing comedy.
You drank before you started comedy, though.
Oh yeah, no, I drank before I did.
Yeah,
no.
So yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, I've also had substance issues.
Clearly.
Yeah, I mean, like this. Yeah, I don't know if we're still, but yeah, this tattoo I have right here. I got it when I was 16.
What showed them the tattoo? I want to see.
Oh yeah,
Make sure
show. Yeah,
the one right here on your wrist.
The three. Yeah.
Oh, and there's one.
That's not. That's a band I was in. That's nothing.
Oh, Sessions.
No, the Lady Parts.
Lady Parts.
I was in bands that have worse names.
Lady Parts is a good name.
It was actually a pretty good name.
It's not a bad name. Not a bad name. I hate
especially if you have a female singer and then it was like funny. Yeah,
Lady Parts.
That's actually how I got into comedy. Was doing that band. Like we did it.
Yeah, we got that in common. It was a band that led us into comedy.
We did little like comedic bits between songs. But when I was 16, I got super into coke.
Super.
Yeah, I mean, like I was a fat kid. Mm-hmm. And that was like I hung out with a lot of skinny people, and I was losing weight while I was doing it.
It's getting sexy.
Yeah, and just it became a whole. I mean, like I understand how everyone talks about like there is a lifestyle. I mean, because when you do drugs, you are getting connected into the lifestyle that you want. It's the fantasy almost, and you're getting there by doing those drugs.
I was a psychedelic man before I went to harder substances, but yeah.
See, I never had that. I literally jumped from marijuana.
You say literally a lot, literally. So.
Well, I literally jumped from marijuana into cocaine. Like there was no in between.
Let's not. I mean, yeah, okay. I'm tired of marijuana being the gateway drug. Alcohol tends to be more the gateway drug.
No. My gateway drug was when I dropped off this dude that was looking to hook up coke when he was my weed dealer. And then I went to the apartment, and my brother was there getting coke.
Damn.
And my brother bought me a line of coke to shut me up. I'm not saying like there's a reason why I did drugs. I'm just saying.
Okay, now be careful. Are you saying anything that you're going to be mad about that you said in this pod? Because I like.
No. My brother's a piece of shit, and I'm not naming him by name.
Your brother's a good dude, actually. If it's the same brother that I met.
Oh, he's the only brother. He's the only brother.
Good. I liked him. I like your whole family.
Oh God, but you weren't there when he was there my entire life. Like I said, I used to weigh 100 pounds more than I do now.
Yeah.
But I will never recognize what I weigh now because I grew up with my brother always constantly calling me a fat ass.
Gotcha. And that can lead to a complex.
Like, it's it. Yeah. Like that complex was because like that's it. Like I've lost 100 pounds.
Does he take credit for that?
No.
Well,
because he actually gained about 150 pounds.
Yeah, I saw.
He's way bigger than I ever used to be. But he used to call me a fat ass.
Does he still use coke?
No. He's all
good for him.
Yeah, no, he's finally cleaned out.
That's good.
Which is the good thing. Like it took him forever. Like he had gone through so much shit, but he's finally cleaned out. And it's one of those things that, like he is still an asshole as a person. Mm-hmm. But him being clean, nice to me. Yeah, him being clean, like with my parents and with me and everyone, we've known him just being a dickhead through all of his addiction life. No. Now just being a decent human being.
Able to enjoy it.
Yeah. It's one of those like it's amazing to be around it. But at the same time, like I went through that myself. Like when I was 16, I was in the middle of a gigantic drug addiction. And I had to get clean through that. And it took me like about 5 years before I could even get back the trust with the people I had met before.
So you've been down that road.
Forever. Wow. Yeah, it took me forever.
Now, being that addictive personality with that kind of thing, all I'm suggesting, again, when you go to New York, in terms of doing your comedy, save the drinking for after your sets.
Oh, no, there is no doubt in my mind right now. Like, I know I'm drinking too much. And I know it's like the addictive person. But for me, I'm not doing it to enjoy. I am literally doing it because I work a job I hate.
Yeah,
I work a job
did too, and I drank a lot during that time.
Yeah, it is so
and then into comedy,
physically demanding. That like I mean, I only work 3 nights out of the week, but it is such a tough job.
And what is your job again?
I'm a dishwasher over at a restaurant, which actually, you know what? I don't even know when this goes up, but I can go ahead and say the name of the restaurant because I'm putting my 2 weeks now.
I don't need to put, no, let's not, because
okay,
you never know.
It is a restaurant in Santa Cruz that I fucking hate.
Okay, that's what that he fucking.
I fucking hate
sure he does.
my
He's
job.
Drunk. He's drunk. He probably does hate his job.
No. I just quit. I quit on Sunday, and this was the 3rd time I've quit.
See, that's what I'm saying. You might you might change your mind.
No, I'm
So-
only gonna be here for like 3 more weeks.
But
So
you may
I
be back.
like now I'm putting my 2 weeks
You may
when I
be
said I
back.
was gonna be here for 3 weeks.
You might come back. You never know. You know, people come back, but he's gonna learn a lot. I'm guaranteed. I'm gonna also, you know, let some people know who live out there to keep an eye out for this guy because he's a good dude. And I, you know, I genuinely wish the best for you out there in New York. And in knowing them, you're gonna probably want to be, you know, just as you meet them, you know, again, demonstrate your best abilities. That's all why I'm suggesting, because it took me a long time. I was telling him in my first couple of years doing stand up, I drank a lot and partied a lot with a lot of different people, and my better sets tend to be when I didn't do that before my sets. And I've had all right. Regardless, I mean, I was also an early comic, so it's harder to tell. It's hard to be honest with yourself about how bad you suck, and know exactly what worked and what didn't. The more that you distort that ability of self awareness.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say like
yeah.
I had already brought up like when the first 3 months I did comedy, I
Mhm.
did them completely clean and sober.
Yeah, that's and how well did it go? I mean,
I've had this point where like I will do sets now every now and again just to do them sober. I won't smoke weed. I won't drink, and it's the same set. I don't.
People think that, but I bet you, I'd be willing to bet if I was able to observe all of those.
Oh no! I mean,
yeah.
I know that like tonight I went up way too drunk,
Yeah,
and
it
I've
wasn't that
always
bad.
had a cutoff tonight. I've always normally had a cutoff, but tonight I definitely went past that because
It's
I
the
just
med,
got
too. We
shuffled.
gotta remember, it's an open
I
mic,
got
not
shuffled
med.
2 people later than I thought I was gonna be.
Yeah, I don't think that really would have.
I mean,
thought
I
you
don't
might-
think it would, but I mean, I would have been like at least 2 drinks.
Oh,
behind
gotcha.
that.
The drinks,
Yeah.
gotcha. The drink.
Yeah, I
Could
mean,
have
just because I was just when I go to the med and I do the med, and I love the med, but I'm gonna have fun there.
Yeah,
yeah. That's
He's one of the hosts there. He hosts there from time to time, and again,
it's such a shitty room. If you're not gonna have fun there, why are you not gonna be there?
It's not a shitty room. That's first and foremost. It's not a shitty room. Again, it's hard to sell people on any kind of comedy show. I've performed in a couple of them already this past. And anytime you perform in a show where people are there and they may not necessarily obviously be there for a comedy show. And you have to
ambush
sell them. You are ambushing them. It's where you have to sell them. You have to sell them on the experience. And tonight, if you respect the audience and their honesty, that usually goes over. They respect your effort. If that's done again with a level of respect, and by respecting the audience, that doesn't mean pander to them or anything. It's basically accepting their honest reactions and not getting defensive about it and embracing them. And the more that's embraced, the more that you endear them to whatever it is that you're trying to do. You know, I've written jokes based on that, but at the same time, the fact is, most of these people, I was saying this tonight, bringing comedy into a bar is like bringing STDs to an orgy. It's already there. You don't, it's redundant. So the fact being that you're bringing, all you're doing is basically you're amplifying people on a microphone who people at a bar would normally not want to listen to anyway. So how are you got to earn their attention, reward it, and then hopefully keep it. And so in that respect, Ben again does his own room at the Red Room, which is a very popular place. That is also, it's not hit and miss, or as people would say, there's a crowd there, pretty much almost all the time. Some are there now for the comedy.
Yeah,
and a good portion of there to drink.
Like,
it's a loungy.
I mean, like I know you weren't there last night.
No.
Yeah, but we had a very small audience. Like
nice.
we had a group of 4 women up in the first couch row. Which I mean, if
there's couches. It looks like a sex orgy.
Yeah, it does not look the way you should set up a room up. Yeah. But I mean, like
it's a restaurant.
Yeah, but you've been there before. Like this first kind of sectional in front of where we put the stage,
or the floor.
A group of 4 women that were there for comedy.
Yeah. It's not staged, technically.
And then there's a sectional couch behind them, and there was a group of like 6 people that were also there for comedy. And then behind that, there's a group of 3 people that were also there for comedy. there was also this group of about 12 people that were not there to watch this show. But they were really cool. They sat through the whole thing. They wanted to do their conversation, but they realized they were in front of a show. They got really quiet. And so they went through all of it, and they literally got to Travis Dinley. And it wasn't like Travis Dinley chased them off. It was just like, that's when they were going to go. But Travis Dinley was also doing his, drowned child in a bucket, and it looked like they were just running from that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's again, the factors being in these kinds of circumstances, that most likely people will leave if they're uncomfortable. They may leave because of they're going to leave anyway. They may whatever. But the important thing, the best feeling is if you're able to do something under that kind of pressured circumstance, and you're able to convince people to stay.
Yeah,
and that's part of why doing these. That's how you learn to get better.
That's the beautiful thing about that room is like about 30 minutes after that. So we're like already like we're a fourth into the show.
Mm-hmm.
So about an hour into the show, we start putting up other comedians, and that's when people just start showing up.
Nice.
Like we get just giant mobs of people.
Because they're not going.
The room
they're there
actually
to get drunk.
can't. Well, no, they're not there to get drunk. They're there to get drunk, but they are there for the show too, which is a weird thing where like they want to get drunk and they want to talk.
Yeah.
But and they were specifically as soon as the show ends, they leave.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we're like
So they are there.
Yeah, it's a terrible like we're a victim of our own success over there.
Wow. Because they have to own up to it.
Yeah, everyone that's there is there for the show.
And then
they're not gonna stop.
And then if you're
being
hammered,
a drunk person at the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who would?
Yeah.
But so, anyways, that's gonna conclude this first half, the drunk Ben Switzer portion.
We're gonna find sober Ben
tomorrow, which you'll get in a matter of seconds here on this thing. I mean, he'll probably have some beers in him because you're Irish, right?
Yeah, and I have to film something with DNA, and I have to be a bartender.
And he's going to probably drink anyway. But yeah, we're filming something, and then we're going to do the Blue Lagoon tomorrow, which is a popular room out here. It's probably one of the even though the Crow's Nest, which I have never done yet because I got offered to host one night, but I wasn't able to get a ride out there. But that's in the Good Times was voted their number 1 comedy show. The number 2 one was the Red Room. Number 3 was Blue Lagoon. Me personally, I'd put Blue Lagoon ahead of Red Room. But
according to DNA, we tied.
I agree with that. Well, I mean, I still think.
But they still put Red Room before Blue Lagoon. I mean, alphabetically, we won.
And again, these things are subjective.
I'm just saying.
Actually, alphabetically, Blue Lagoon.
Red Room went before Blue Lagoon.
That's not alphabetically.
Alphabetically we won. Like if they went alphabetically, it would be Blue Lagoon then us.
Yeah.
But they put us first and then Blue Lagoon after.
Yeah. So
we won alphabetically.
Okay, that makes no sense, but that's fine. He's drunk. So again, concluding the first half of this YouTube cast, we have been in the meantime with Ben Switzer, part 1, drunk. We will be back in a matter of seconds to you. In a day later for us, with sober Ben. So stick around.
It will be a different Ben.
Well, we're back. This is in the meantime with me and Dave. Episode number 9 of the Tubecast. Ben Switzer, part 2. Sober, right here. You can see it right there. It says sober.
Sober, which is surprising because we just spent 3 hours in a bar.
Yeah, we just came from after last night's. The first half you just witnessed, where you saw Ben pretty hammered, which Ben hasn't even seen that footage. He's too scared to watch it.
I will not want that.
It was fine. You were actually really believing.
I don't need my intervention this early.
Yeah. So this is a good social experiment for you, the audience, to get to see the difference in what I'm talking about here. And if you feel free to make comments on Ben's demeanor, whether you preferred sober Ben or drunk Ben. But the thing was we had to wake up at close to 9 to be at a nearby place, Tampico, to film a little short that's being done courtesy of DNA. The guy.
I was a bartender, which explains why I'm in a fancy shirt now.
He was a bartender. I was playing myself as I normally do, making a cameo appearance in this video. basically, to give away the whole story or anything, because it's really not much of a story. It's comedians discussing killing it. What the phrase of killing it, which in comedian terms is basically you did really well and you made the audience laugh a lot. Basically, I look at it as like if you make the audience laugh to the point of where they are having trouble breathing, that's killing it because you're making them laugh to the point of where they have to catch their breath, i.e., they might be dying. But we're here back for this part 2 because also Ben, you know how a lot of times they say when you're doing something, don't quit your day job? Guess what Ben Switzer just did?
Today, quit my day job. Finally.
Fucking done. He's done.
But to be fair, my day job was a shitty job. I should have quit that months
You were
ago.
talking about it on you may not remember this. You were talking about your job and we're about to name the job and saying how much you hate your job. Now you don't have to really worry about that, I think, anymore.
Yeah, 515. Fucking hate working at that place.
That's the name of it?
Yeah,
515. Let me guess, they named it after their address.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's smart. There's 10,
Oh no,
15
it gets
Folsom.
even douchier now. They're trying to call it 5:15 as if it's like a quarter after 5. Time to drink.
5:15.
So lame.
It's alcohol o'clock. But yeah, he's here. He's back. We all just finished again. We did this shoot. We got there at 9. Had some donuts and some coffee and some bagels.
Which was a surprise.
We didn't know we were getting fed. We got fed. We got breakfast. And then we jumped right in to this shoot. It was starring DNA, the producer of the Blue Lagoon show, and he's pretty much kind of organizing this with these guys that he's in contact with, who actually they had a pretty nice high-end, low maintenance, high-end production team. Just 3 guys, and they filmed like champs. But this cast is made up of DNA, Phil Griffiths out of Half Moon Bay, Chad Opitz, which I showed you in the Good Times issue. By the way, this is the updated issue of Good Times. This is the Mean Dave version of the Good Times.
The Mean Lynch version.
Mean Lynch.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So yeah, it's again Chad Opitz, who was featured in the article I showed. He was the guy with the fucking face that I fucking can't stand. Him. There's Ben Del Castillo, who pretty much the thing I like about him most is he has 2 L's in his name as well, in his last name, and that's if you know my last name from previous In the Meantime episodes, you're gonna have to watch that. You'll learn what my last name is, and it has 2 of the L's that are silent. But Ben was playing he had a funny role of being the guy that thought he was killing it the entire time, and everybody was trying to point out to him that he did not in fact kill it. Butch Escobar, who, when they say, people not to chew up the scenery, Butch not only chews up the goddamn scenery, he chews up the crew. He chews when Butch came in there, once he sat down with that script, you would have thought Butch was directing this motherfucker. But that's because Butch has experience being on sets and stuff. Also, he's a very, he likes, it's just one of the things Butch kind of does. He takes ownership of everything that he does. But to his credit, we got the shit done. They had to pay just 1 extra hour for the place to rent the restaurant Tampico. But and then also Dave Grimes, a new comedian from Santa Cruz area who also is a wrestler. I mentioned him in the WrestleMania edition of In the Meantime with Mean Dave with my friend Shooter Mike Silva. But Dave Grimes, he was a wrestler named Perry Von Vicious, but he played a waiter and did so very well. He looked exactly like what a waiter would look like, and he acted like a waiter would look like. It was funny. Ben played a bartender. And also George Kane, who we mentioned running the Mediterranean, which I hosted last night, he played a bar patron. And these 2 guys had an excellent scene that I hope makes it into the short of where they're just they're making the point. Ben Del Castillo claims that nobody likes the movie Casino, which is horseshit. That's one of my favorite movies. And it's not because I think it's a great piece of Scorsese cinema. It's because it is like a hangout version of Goodfellas.
Yeah.
But Ben and George, not only Ben replies that he loves the movie Casino, saw it in theaters, and then they start repeating lines from the movie Casino, and then it turns into just this barrage of lines from movies in general.
Yeah, I think the game was how many movie quotes we can just randomly
go in there into the thing with confusion. This device was also used, not saying it was lifted from it, but this device was used in the recent comedy Neighbors. During a scene in that where
the Robert De Niro
De Niro scene where everybody just starts going off of movie lines and they just start going into just random movie lines but it's a funny device and I think it'll work fine in this. So, but yeah, we're back here. We're about to go get some lunch, celebratory lunch, and then go watch the movie Chef by Jon Favreau. Um, but let me get to this point. I got.
Wait, are we watching the movie Chef?
I'm going to see the movie Chef.
Sure.
I don't know about you.
I think I might tag along.
Yeah, it's good. I've heard good things, and my parents saw it and they liked it.
I was walking past the Del Mar. They had the banner there, and they have like all like Jon Favreau, Sofia Vergara. Who else is in? I think
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, but no, Robert Downey Jr. is he has one line in the movie.
Yeah, but he's Iron Man.
I know, but he's fourth billed.
He's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
and it's a hell of a line. So but yeah, one of the things that you'll notice again, Ben, not hammered. Now. Not hammered. I haven't even had a lick of alcohol today. You didn't have any in so far. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty sure I broke something in my hand last night.
Oh, so you really did think you hurt your hand?
I really do think I broke something from falling over onto you before we started podcasting.
Why do you think you broke it?
I can't make a fist. I mean, I don't think it's broke. It might be like sprained or something.
Yeah, it probably sprained, but yeah.
But I mean, just in general, fucked up my hand.
See? Alcohol.
Alcohol.
I've fallen on my wrist and busted my wrist. I've messed my hand up numerous times. Again, folks, watch the alcohol. Yeah. Ben, to his credit, also, we got to sleep probably about a little after 1. I didn't even get to sleep until about probably 3 in the fucking morning because you got so many goddamn mosquitoes buzzing around here, and I've got blood that's fresh from another area, and they love eating. I had at least like 3 mosquito bites by the time I went to sleep, but they were buzzing by my ear, which keeps me awake. And on top of that, this fucking futon that we're sitting on,
the world's most uncomfortable futon?
Yeah, I had to lay that way. I laid with my head on that, and I was trying this end for about an hour and a half. Couldn't go to sleep. And not only that, but I got freaked out because I did not realize Ben sleeps right over here in this wall.
We're not pointing; we're actually fucking.
It's right behind it. Right behind here. I'll just do this here so you can see it. See the blanket fort exactly. You can see how it goes from the wall, or whatever. That's where Ben lives.
Because Ben lives in squalor.
Yeah, but not really squat. It's a nice place, but I mean, you're making use of how much space you can get. I want to make sure the titties are from the photo in the background there. See, look at that, America. So, but we're back here, and I wanted to give you a little slice of Switzer. So now, Switzer, let's do the sober version. Give us your life story in 200 words or less. Go.
White suburban upbringing. Poor life decision skills. Comedy.
Wow, that was close to what you said last night. The other thing was you just brought up Fresno. Or growing up in Fresno. But so there's that. Let's see what else. Ben, again, he's going to be moving to New York. He's quit his day job. So he is now officially unemployed. Welcome to the club, by the way, buddy. Well, I'm employed now, actually. I just got a job. I started on Monday. So,
loser, get a job. Comic can be employed
at
a time.
Job. This fucking guy, Luke, quits his job. What an idiot. But we're here, and again, we had a successful shoot. We started at 9. We probably didn't get the ball rolling on filming until about 10 o'clock when they got things set up and everybody.
10:30, I think.
No, that was 10:30 was when they checked with us. That was when they were just starting to almost finish the first scene. What looked like we thought we were going to have to come back. The guy, the production team ended up renting the restaurant for another hour. And we were able to get the rest of it, which once you realized how short it was, and I think probably the funnest part, and this is the thing, one of the things that this production would have benefited from, and we would have gotten it done in the hour, or in the 2-hour time frame better. But again, these things, it's always 20/20 hindsight. Just noticing because when people walked in there who had a lot of lines and dialogue, it would have been better if those particular guys got together for a read through. And would have kind of gone through it. But it's hard to pull these people together. Yeah. It's hard to get people together, coordinate schedules and all that. And so when everybody got together, people are kind of, going through the script. They loosely had their script down, but some people more than others. But other people were also kind of figuring it out as they were going along, plus trying to,
Plus, there was like 40 minutes of us trying to figure out how to pronounce the name Galactus.
Galactus, which is the character from the Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four. Yeah, because there's a lot of a lot of talk about Galactus's cock, okay, and whether it's Galactus. George Kane was getting particularly upset because it's Galactus.
I still maintain it sounds better Galacticus.
Well, it's just incorrect. That's all that, as George Kane was pointing out. But I was just dying because really the fact being that it doesn't fucking matter. It's a comic book character.
It's not like the Devour Worlds is going to come down
watching George Kane,
hey, on Roku, you got my fucking name wrong.
George Kane, if you don't, obviously you don't know what he looks like. He looks like an angry young Robert Forster, the actor, who, if you might know him best from he's the bail bondsman.
Yeah,
he's the bail bondsman from Jackie Brown. That's where he got his break, at his later in life break. But he's been around. Medium Cool was like his movie when he was young.
D Wars, Dragon Wars.
He was also in the Black Hole, also the Disney movie.
Oh really?
He's in the Black Hole. He's one of the early guys who gets lost in the movie or something like that. But anyway, so we did the filming. We got it. So they purchased the other hour, and we were able to finish it. And it was a lot of fun. I have to say, I only have a cameo in it, but my scene when I walked in there and did drop my lines and all that. Fucking champ.
Wait, if
dude.
You have a cameo, what do I have when I have less lines than you?
I'm
a background actor.
You're loose character actor. Well, this is an ensemble piece, but the thing is, you see, Me and Dave stands out so much. I think here's the thing again, if they would have prepared if the cast would have prepared ahead of time, one of the things that I think was probably that I hope they get to use some of this footage was when after we did all the rehearsed lines or the non-rehearsed lines, I should say. After everybody did all their lines sitting at this one table, they let them go and just do an improv. And the improv got a lot of some funny, goofy moments. I even walked back into a scene because I only have one scene with a couple lines that are meant to be funny. We'll see if they are funny in the edit. But when I walked back into the scene, it was unexpected because they were just doing their riffing and I just added a little something. And I don't know if that'll make it into the movie, but who cares? So it's a short film, so it's not really a movie. But yeah. So anyways, just saying, having a good time, finishing up this podcast. Mm-hmm. So Ben, Ben was not even. You would not know that Ben had drank as much as he did last night because I got very little sleep and I feel fine. Ben, I heard him in the middle of the night get up and go puke. Do you remember puking?
No.
He got up.
That explains the bad taste I've had in my mouth all day.
You vomited probably like a half hour to an hour after because I watched the first half just to check all the shit on the podcast. I closed it and that was when I got freaked out because I realized he was sleeping right over here. I didn't realize that, and he got up like I heard the churning bubbling, and then he slammed walked down the hallway, kind of bumping into shit. Got in the bathroom, and then I heard, so yeah, he barfed.
I was sadly the second one of that day of the people that live in this house to puke.
Wouldn't doubt it. And then when he came back, the great part was that when he came back and settled back in there, I heard a couple of like just a couple gasps where I was just hoping he didn't puke in his sleep because then I'm in a dead man's house. So I wouldn't know. I'm not going in. I wasn't about to go. I wasn't about to go in there. I didn't know if he was nude, whatever. Man, he's behind. I mean, it's a fine amount of blankets and sheets.
If I'm getting drunk enough to vomit in the middle of the night and not be aware of it at all, yeah, something bad is happening.
It's pretty. So, but I'm glad he's here. Glad he's alive. We made it. We made it to this morning. And we're again about to go get some lunch. Mm-hmm. This is probably, I gotta say, Ben is a lot less talkative.
Oh yeah.
Right now, see the calmness, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm saying. With that, any thoughts? Because one of the things I brought up last night, when you go to New York, and all I suggested to you is that you don't drink before doing any sets in New York. Yeah. Thoughts on that?
I don't. Yeah, I definitely won't go in drunk. Like definitely.
No, not even. I don't mean having a glass before your sets. I mean going stone sober performing. Have your drinks afterwards. Get shit faced afterwards.
Yeah, but what if I'm trying to like hit up like 5
You're
miles?
sounding like an alcoholic.
No, I'm
Sounding
saying
like an
like
alcoholic.
hitting up 5 miles. Am I
And
drinking
you do
after all?
no, you don't drink until after all mics are done. That's business. So I'm saying you got to because you got to make those good impressions. By the time you get to the fifth mic, if you're drinking, guess what? You're drunk.
Yeah.
You have one beer at each of those fucking places. I don't care how Irish you are. So that's all I'm trying to impart a little bit of the word to the wise ass.
Yeah.
So just so that Switzer, I'm trying to beat it into his brain because actually it said in my literature, my NA literature yesterday, reach out to somebody who you think may, and I'm not saying Ben's the kind of guy who needs meetings or anything like that. At least not at this point. He's been down the roads of addiction.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it last night. You obviously don't remember,
Yeah.
but we talked a little bit about it. We didn't mention anything about something that your parents are not even going to see this, but we didn't mention any of the thing that you told me not to mention even on at your roast. So I'm not even going to talk. Not even going there. We're not even going there. Not even going there. But
yeah, warning signs are there. Yeah.
Yeah. So all I'm imparting is following my literature, reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, Ben, you want to do comedy in New York? Highly recommend. Don't drink until after all of your comedy for the day is done. Then you can go celebrate with an after cocktail, and you'll probably wake up with less of a hangover if you have a hangover at all, because you won't be drinking as much. So try to see.
No, strange enough, no hangover this morning, but I'm pretty
No
sure that's
hanger.
because no hangover because I'm pretty sure that's because I puked everything out.
Yeah, well, that could be, but also still, that's not the moral of the fucking story.
No.
So
it's the moral of any story.
Yeah. But so yeah, it was funny. We were mentioning last night. You went into comedy from a band. I transitioned from a band. This is the band I transitioned from. This is my band, Bad Touch. As you can see, that's the stick figure drawing of me when my hair was longer, and that's my drummer, Crazy Eric, on the drums. I drew this in stick figure form because if you can tell, I'm the artist who draws all these. So, but yeah, this was where I took a cue from South Park when they start going in the third dimension, and this is our prog rock poses.
Wait, was that screen printed or did
It's
you
screen
just...
it's screen printed.
Screen printed.
It's screen printed from, if you look, it's hand drawn on a online piece of paper, and if you look carefully,
oh my god, yeah,
you can see the lines on the piece of from the piece of paper. You can even see the holes in the 3-ring binder.
If you can't see right now,
no, you don't need to worry about it. But you can find actually Bad Touch music if you're interested in even following up and wanting to hear early vintage Mean Dave. You can look up Bad Touch on SoundCloud, or actually just find Mean Dave on SoundCloud, and I've got both of our albums available for free download. And if you like those, you can look up the band that was the precursor to that, Woozor. We have our discography. That was my old band that actually pressed some records and has some pretty heavy good tunes. Woozor. We have our discography, Woo Motherfucking Zor. That's on Mortville Noise's free Bandcamp download label, so you can look that shit up and it'll come up. Trust me. And you might even find some videos if you look up Bad Touch Mean Dave. You might find our video from the Caravan, which is pretty good, and a couple other clips. But other than that, it's all comedy now.
Yeah.
So fuck music.
So much fucking easier.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's just less equipment to haul around.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you don't have to deal, and you're really just dealing with. You can't blame anybody for your lack of success, but yourself. Yeah, that's fun. So with that, we're gonna go wrap up and go get some lunch, poo. I'm Mean Dave. This here's Ben Switzer. You've been in the meantime, Mean Dave. Episode 9. This is the sober, less interesting, I'm sure. Ben Switzer.
I feel bored.
But I like the fact that he's boring. You see what I'm saying? Like if you saw the first half, you saw how much my eyes were wandering around listening to a Ben who was ready to tell his drunken biography.
Oh, I'm so sad.
What? No, I'm telling you, it was good.
Yeah.
I watched it back. It was highly entertaining. This half.
Yeah.
Entertaining. It's not. I mean, hey,
it's a nice denouement.
It's middle of the day. It's a nice day in fucking Santa Cruz. What do you fucking want from us? All right. It's not. We're not pros yet.
Yeah.
He's the one who quit his day job. I just got a day job. So cut us some slack. Yeah. Check us out next time. In the meantime, when hopefully I'll have a chick on this fucking show. I'm tired of all the dudes. Like my friend Victor Pacheco says, a lot of hella dudes. Need to get some estrogen up in this thing because it's getting a little dude heavy. And there's a lot of good women in comedy, and I want to try and get them and sucker them into one of my little web tubecasts. But in the meantime, have a great whatever the fuck it is that you're doing. That's been it, Ben. Any closing thoughts?
Ben was more entertaining. That's all I can think.
No, he wasn't more entertaining. I like this Ben. Ben, you got to learn how to be just as entertaining, if not more entertaining, sober. Drunken Ben, He's you know,
He's an experience.
he might wind up in jail. What I was gonna say, we're doing the Ben Switzer roast. The date for that, July 8th,
Yep.
before he leaves at the Red Room. If you actually watch these things and are gonna, looking for something to do on Tuesday, July 8th, and you want to see this guy get 8 assholes ripped into him. I don't know how long is the dais. 12 people.
No, it's
10.
11.
11. Watch him get 11 assholes, new fresh assholes ripped into him.
So
Come check it out. Plus, there's gonna be more people, in the pre-open mic version of it. So, 7 o'clock. Was it 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
7 o'clock at the Red Room on Tuesday, July 8th. Come check that shit out, and we will be there. You come back, check out. In the meantime, check out my other tubecasts. Check out episodes 1 through 8. They're all interesting, especially 7 and 8. Watch more of 7 and 8. Okay, Zorba Hughes and Andrew Roberts. All right, we need to pump up the views on that bitch. So check them shits out. My name's Mean Dave. Fuck off. Have a great fucking life.
Peace.